Okay, we're going to talk a little bit about the pocket heater again today. Alright, because it's an old school thing and we need to make sure that people know how to use them. Right? So the pocket heater, the big one here, I'm going to go ahead and I got it out of the holder. So this is the Jon-E Giant. All right. Now I took the element here that heats it up off. To fill it, I put white gas in there, aka Coleman fuel, aka naptha. Right. So that's what these run on. This gets really hot. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna have to run down and get a set of leather gloves because I don't have any here. I was gonna do it a minute ago and I was doing something else. But anyway, you do not put fuel on the heating element. You do not do that because you will ruin it. All right. The fuel goes in the chamber. Not on this. You're not producing a flame here. Okay? This is not the goal to produce a flame. You have a reaction. Okay? So I'm going to take this off. We're going to look at this. All this is, there used to be a wick right here because they used to use that. Originally, this was a hole to light a cigarette, right? So that's back when people smoked cigarettes, right? So, don't smoke cigarettes. Bad for you. So, then they decided to go ahead and put a wick right here. So then you could light the wick. I guess you were supposed to light the wick off of that there. I didn't study it enough because I'm not interested in smoking cigarettes. I took the wick out and I filled it with high heat resistant RTV. Okay, put a plug in there, and then that's it. That's all she wrote for that. So it's got like some cotton wool in there, and it absorbs the fluid. So, if you have one of these special funnels, okay, this funnel will come with a Hakkin heater, Hakkin pocket heater, or a Peacock pocket heater. One of these will come with it. And I just use it for the Jon-E also. So, the way this thing works is it's got two lines on there. It's got one for half and one for to the top, right? And this I had to figure out, well, how many of these full one of these does this take? So I believe, if I remember right, it was 6. So you put that in there, little funnel in there, and then you're gonna fill that up. And there's fluid in there now. I put 3 of these funnels worth of fluid in there, right? So you fill the fluid up in there, and then you turn this 90 degrees. That pivots, and then that fluid goes in there slowly. Okay, it just kind of seeps in. You don't want to go too fast because then it'll start coming out the top because there's cotton wool in there, right? So, anyway, takes about 6 of these. Now, one thing I found out is you can put 6 in there and it'll last you until the next day. But it burns hotter when there's less fuel in. So I put 3 of these in there. 3 full funnels worth in there, and it will burn hotter than if I put 6 full, because I'm gonna tell you the way this operates. It's the fumes. It's not the liquid fuel that is the fuel to make it work. It's the fumes. The fumes are what makes it work. So the fumes combined with this element, it's got like palladium or something infused stuff here, right? Something like that. It's the same kind of stuff pretty much as you would put in these funny little fireplaces people have these days. I don't remember what they call that stuff. Anyway, this just kind of pops on here. If it's a friction fit, if it doesn't quite have enough friction, you could squeeze it just gently, and just if you do it too much and you squeeze it too much, then it'll just pop off. It's kind of a finicky little fit there, but you get it to where it fits on there with the nice little friction fit, and then the way. Let me check this lighter. Yeah, that works. Okay, so the way that this works is that now the fumes are passing through the element area. So what we got to do is we got to heat the element. So when the element is heated, it reacts with the heat of the lighter and the fumes, and then it just continues to glow. I saw it starts to glow right there because there's fumes coming out of there. So once this gets nice and hot, it will keep the little reaction going. Okay. I'm gonna watch my hands here because they don't work so well anymore. So if I keep this heat on here and get this nice and hot, you see there's no flame in there, right? I don't know how old that lighter is. I have another lighter. Don't really know how old this one is either. But it may take you a few minutes to get this thing reacting. Okay, I can see it's starting to react now. Okay. And then once you get this reacting, once you get this reaction going, it's better if you do this with a Zippo. Incidentally, the Zippo pocket warmers like this, these hand heaters or pocket heaters, they don't work good. I hate to say that about Zippo, but it doesn't work good. I'm going to see if... it doesn't look like it's reacting yet. It takes a few minutes, especially, you know, heating this metal top part too. That this whole thing will get hot. This thing is going to get several hundred degrees. That's why I need those leather gloves. That's why it comes with like a little pouch. But the pouch that these things come with initially is really just not good. It doesn't allow enough airflow. So alright, that's pretty warm. I'm going to put this top on, and I'm going to go get those gloves real quick, and we're going to see what happens while I'm gone. And incidentally, I brought up the digital thermometer from downstairs. Only got about 4 minutes, 5 minutes left. We'll see what happens in this video. And then we'll go to another video. Alright, I got the gloves. Gotta have leather gloves when you're fiddling around with things like this because they get hot. Oh, I could feel it. I could feel the bottom of this thing heating up. You gotta let it sit around. Hopefully it's reacting. Oh yeah, it's reacting. I can see it in there. Especially on this one side. Give it a little O2. And you gotta let it sit around for a few minutes. Let it get going good before you put it in your pouch. Because if you don't, then it could, go out. It's got to it's got to build up good and get that reaction going good and have enough oxygen for a little bit, and then once it gets going, it'll go for hours. Now, the new Zippo ones, they've got a bad reputation for just going out. I don't know whether it's something in their element stuff that, I don't know. Maybe they cheaped out. They're using a facsimile element. I don't know what they're doing. But they're having issues. It's starting to heat up, man. I could feel the heat. I could feel it. Watch. See that? That's a reading I just took. See that? That's why I went to get those gloves. My dad had one of these when I was a kid. And I always thought, man, that's pretty cool. I'd like to have one. But he never let me have one. Never showed me anything about it. Nothing. So I didn't know. I didn't know what I was missing for years. But anyway, so now I can see it's glowing here and there inside. I'll try to get you a look at that before I shut this video down. Let me cover the camera thing there. You see that in there? Yeah. Alright, so it's getting hot. I'm going to let it sit here for a few more minutes because they say it's about 10 minutes is what you need, and then we'll go ahead. We'll get another reading on it. I may have to put a glove on for this next reading because it's getting hot. So what happens is this whole body of this unit heats up. So that little element gets so hot that it makes the rest of this steel body heat up. And it'll get so warm that the very top part you will burn your flesh off. You know, so I made this homemade holder out of wool. So this is made out of wool fabric. And you know, of course, wool breathes. So anyway, another thing also that I've talked about in the past is using hot water bottles in this same configuration. A few years ago I explained that. Hot water bottle front and back. Go skiing, Nordic skiing or whatnot, it'd be warm. Alright, see you.